This is a top-notch device of 2010. This one is HTC HD7. The one of the biggest downside of this device is it is running on Windows 7. In 2007, Windows is like infant, so it was growing up. But the downside of this device is like Windows 7 is pretty much unusable right now. Windows 8.1 and Windows 10 is pretty much usable. You can sideload application, you can play some games, and you can do lightweight browsing and those things. But Windows 7 actually pretty much useless, and you can still use this device as a dumb phone, but it's not really fun to use anymore. But under the hood, this device got top-notch specs. First of all, the display here is actually 4.3 inch. It's really huge display for 2010, and the display is pretty good. It is 480 by 800, so it is a 480p display, but the viewing angle and everything is pretty good. Also, you can see the speaker grills here, although looks like this device got stereo speaker, but the only speaker it got actually on behind, and the quality is also not really that great. And also right hand side we got our volume rockers and twisted shutter button. Right hand side we don't have anything. On the top we got our power button, and at the bottom the 3.5mm headphone jack, micro USB port, and microphone hole. And on the back, as you can see here, we got our branding and the device name HT7. The camera here is actually 5 megapixel autofocus camera, and there are true flash, and they are really powerful. And also, this is a kickstand. You can watch movies and enjoy your videos and everything. So kind of cool actually. And one more thing about this device is that this device built very well. Other things like under the hood, this device running on a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor, weirdly 576 MB of RAM and 16 gig of internal storage. So the spec is really good for 2010 device, because even Microsoft releasing their devices in 2014 with 4 gig of internal storage and 512 MB of RAM. So as I said, this device running on Windows 7, and Windows 7 is not really that great right now. You can't really do much. So as you can see here, Windows Phone 7, and I did review one of my favorite Windows 7 devices, which is this one, Lumia 800. So this one is running on Windows 7.8, and it got few features which make it much more usable, like having hotspot or internet sharing option, which is not available on this device. So if you go to setting, as you can see, wall and hotspot, which is a usable feature if you have a device like this right now, as you cannot do much with the operating system, or it has no usability right now. But still, if you use this device as a dumb phone, you can share your internet, or you can take phone calls and make phone calls and do text messaging. So in terms of that, it is pretty much usable. But for this device, actually you can't do that, as you cannot share internet from this device. So as you can see, we don't have any kind of internet sharing option here. But the thing is that you can still make phone call and you can do messaging without any kind of issue. And the camera is pretty much usable still. As you can see here, camera is usable. There is no Lumia camera for Windows 7 devices. So camera is usable, and twisted shutter key does work, as you can see here. So camera is usable, and it also can shoot up to 720p video. Pretty decent for that time. And one thing about Windows Phone, they runs pretty well and they're really good, so pretty smooth. In Windows 7, we don't really have any kind of status bar or notification bar here. And also we don't have any kind of way to access the running application. But the device is running pretty well. I've been using this device for a few days now. I kind of enjoying this device. And one thing about this device is that, as I said, this got 16 gig of internal storage. So you can like put your music here. But weirdly enough, Windows 7 devices, you cannot really copy directly any music file here. You have to use Microsoft Zune app to copy files here. And I did copy some music here actually with Zune application. So if I go to music, I do have few music here right now. So if I go to music section, songs, so as you can see here, and if I play one, and the speaker is not really that loud, but pretty decent. And also as a HTC device, it got few HTC application, as you can see here, HTC Hub and HTC Photo Enhancer, which can enhance photo a little. it's got some filters actually. There is nothing much you can do with the photo application. So if I go to choose photo and select a picture like this one, so as you can see here, there are few filters here, and I like auto enhancer feature. So if I click, as you can see here, it increase the contrast and looks good actually, looks pleasant. So you can save. So that's what you are getting with this device actually. And few more application like stock, Xbox Live, these things are not working anymore. And if I try marketplace, as you can see, service is unavailable right now, so it's not working. But we are connected to internet right now, and if I try to browse something, so Internet Explorer is here. We cannot install any third-party browser right now here. One of the best thing of Windows devices is that their keyboard is excellent on Windows devices, and I really love Windows keyboard. But anyway, we cannot like get Windows keyboard right now. Maybe Microsoft Suite keyboard is kind of similar to Windows keyboard, but still it's not really that usable. So if I go to facebook.com, Facebook, and search, as you can see, it can still load few pages, but not much actually. So continue with website, continue. As you can see here, we cannot use Facebook here. Go back, and if I try YouTube here, it will be similar actually. So the browser is outdated, so we cannot do any kind of browsing here. Okay, YouTube and search. Continue, and so as you can see here, security warning. It cannot load actually. So as you can see, nothing. So that's what you are getting in terms of browsing. That means no browsing. You can't do browsing here. Symbian phone can do much better than that right now, but because it is running on Windows, you can't really do much. And also there is Office application, which still surprisingly works, and you can still create Word, Excel, or PowerPoint here. So as you can see here, it's still quite decent. And one thing about Windows Phone is that generally they are really fast and they looks good. The device is still pretty much usable as a dumb phone. One downside is you cannot share internet from this device, and also I would not recommend anyone to buy one of this device. I bought this device just to keep, and I like Windows phones, that's why I bought this device. And I'm looking for like third-party devices rather than Nokia Lumia or Microsoft Lumia, like from Huawei or Lenovo. They also released few devices running on Windows, but they are very rare right now. But anyway, this device is pretty good. The build quality is top-notch and still pretty much usable, although one should not buy this device right now. As a Windows Phone lover, I really love this device. There is no game actually. So if I go to games section here, there is no games. And for calling and messaging, you can still do it. Also, if you want to listen music, you can still listen music with this device. So that's 2-3 things you can do with this device. And that's all about this device. There is nothing much I can say. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.